Archangel Michael says, "Open this message slowly, for what it contains is heavier than words, deeper than sorrow, and more powerful than even time." They didn't want you to know, but their tears today are not normal. Something sacred is being hidden behind their silence. They've just returned from the hospital, and what the doctors told them has shaken their very soul and shattered their strength. They are not speaking clearly right now, because every word from their lips feels like a farewell wrapped in fear. They looked at the medical report, and then they looked at the wall for over an hour, unmoving, unblinking, lost in thought. Today, your person is crying not because of pain, but because they think they might not have enough time left with you. They were strong for too long, carrying pain silently while pretending to smile. But now, everything has changed because the report confirmed what they were secretly afraid of. They may not say it directly to you, but their eyes are begging you to stay close to them now more than ever. You see, they've been hiding the signs, the fatigue, the pain, the forgotten meals, and the sleepless nights. Now, it's too real. They've left very few days according to what the hospital wrote, and they haven't accepted it yet. Type Amen to get blessing 333. Archangel Michael says, "This message is sacred, and whoever receives it must not ignore the emotion tied to every single word." A person who loves you deeply is now facing a countdown, but they're more worried about how you'll handle the truth. They don't fear death, they fear leaving you unguarded, unprotected, and incomplete. That's why they're pushing you away lately. They don't want you to see them falling apart, or catching glimpses of their body weakening. But inside, they are crumbling, screaming quietly behind closed doors. They've made a secret list, things they want you to know, things they never got to say. One of those includes a location they want you to visit after they're gone. Another includes a name they've forgiven, and one they want you to be careful of. They know time is moving fast now, and there's something urgent they must confess to you. They're waiting for the moment your hand will touch theirs, and they'll gain the courage to speak it. But today, they were alone when they saw the words on the report, "Very limited days left." Type Amen to get blessing 222. The wind was silent when they stepped outside the hospital, like even nature paused in honor of their heartbreak. A part of them already feels like a ghost, watching life but not being fully part of it. Yet, their love for you remains louder than any diagnosis. They're already planning how to give you something meaningful with the time they have. They've contacted someone quietly, someone trusted, to deliver a message to you later. And that person is holding onto an envelope, your name is written on it, sealed with trembling hands. Inside that envelope is a gift. Not money, not a will, not property. But a truth, a deep truth you never knew they were carrying for years. They are afraid, but they trust the angels more than the doctors now. They've asked for protection, for divine timing, for one last miracle to give them more time with you. They've not given up yet, but the pain is becoming heavier each passing hour. Type Amen to get blessing 441. If you saw their eyes today, you would notice how red they are, not from illness, but from hours of weeping. They cried alone in the bathroom, wiping their tears with tissues that carry the weight of goodbye. They looked in the mirror and whispered to themselves, "I have to hold on, for them." Their thoughts are a whirlwind of memories, regrets, and silent prayers. They remember the day you held them when they were scared, and now they're wishing you could do it again. But they won't ask for it. Because they want to appear strong until the very last second. They've started avoiding their favorite foods because the appetite is disappearing. Sleep has become rare, and when it comes, it brings dreams of the past, not the future. Even the doctor's voice echoed in their mind like a countdown clock ticking louder and louder. They sat in silence for a long time, holding a photo of you. They know love doesn't heal every wound, but they also know your presence brings peace. You are their comfort, their calm, their reason to still breathe with meaning. Type Amen to get blessing 555. There's a letter they're writing, it's hidden under their pillow. That letter is addressed to you and has been rewritten 3 times already. They keep changing the words, unsure of how to say goodbye without breaking your heart. They've asked Archangel Michael for just a few more mornings with you. Just a few more hours to feel your hand, your warmth, your smile. Every second now feels like a treasure they refuse to waste. They're praying for a divine reversal. That somehow, the test results were mistaken. That somehow, God will change what's written in the report before it becomes too late. You may not know it yet, but their love for you is deeper than the ocean. And right now, all they want is your embrace without needing to explain anything. They just want to rest their head on your shoulder and feel alive for one last chapter. Type Amen to get blessing 828. There's a nurse who noticed their tears. She asked if they needed someone to call, but they shook their head, whispering, "Not yet." Because they want to tell you themselves, but they haven't found the strength. In the hallway, they looked at the other patients, wondering if their time will come faster than expected. They saw a child smiling despite the 4 lines, and it gave them courage for a moment. But when they returned to their room, reality hit harder than before. They wrote your name in their notebook. Then, they drew a heart beside it and stared at it until the ink bled from too many tears falling on the page. That notebook now lies closed beside their bed, but it holds all the things they couldn't say out loud. Archangel Michael says, the hospital may have written their ending, but the heavens still hold the final word. Miracles do not obey science, and love does not bow to reports. If the divine decides to intervene, they could still be given another season to love you. Type Amen to get blessing 711. They have something inside their jacket pocket right now, it's something for you. A tiny pendant that they wore during their hardest nights, and they want you to wear it when they can't be near. It still carries their scent, their energy, their silent plea, "Please remember me." They're trembling now, not from illness, but from fear that you'll find out too late. So they've arranged a way for someone to inform you if they ever collapse without warning. But they're hoping they'll be the one to tell you, face to face, hand in hand. They've left a voicemail that they never sent, recorded at 3 a.m. during their darkest hour. It starts with a shaky breath and ends with, "I'll always love you." It's saved, hidden in their phone, waiting to be discovered. They want to take one last walk with you, maybe to your favorite place. Just one more time to laugh without explaining what's wrong. Because they know once you find out, every smile will become a struggle. Type Amen to get blessing 606. They've grown quieter each day, but inside, they're screaming. Not for help, but for time. More time to make peace, to give love, to feel alive beside you. They recently sat with their childhood photo and whispered an apology to their younger self. They apologized for not living longer, for not being strong enough. But deep down, they still hold hope, hope that divine power will reverse what the report said. They've spoken to someone you don't know about you. They made sure that if anything happens, you'll be protected. Even in their weakest moment, they are putting you first. Their soul is not ready to go yet. Their heart is not ready to let go of yours. And even as their body begins to surrender, their spirit is still begging heaven for one more day. Type Amen to get blessing 717. They've decided to leave behind a surprise for you. It may come in a letter, a recorded message, or a wrapped gift. But it's meant to make you smile on the day they're no longer by your side. They dream of you often now, those dreams are the only time they feel peace. And sometimes, in sleep, they whisper your name like a lifeline. They are holding on to hope, even if it's fading. Archangel Michael says, the battle in their body is great, but the love in their soul is even greater. If you could see their spirit right now, it's glowing with love for you. This love could trigger a miracle, something beyond explanation. Stay close. Touch their hand. Whisper that you're not going anywhere. Type Amen to get blessing 999. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They woke up this morning with a strange heaviness in their chest, not just from illness, but from unspoken fear. The kind of fear that comes when you know your body is no longer listening to your willpower. Still, they stood up, wiped their tears, and told themselves, one more day for them. Just one more day for the one I love. Every hour feels like a weight they're carrying with fading strength. Their phone rang earlier, but they ignored it. It was the doctor, calling to repeat the results. They didn't want to hear it again. Once was enough to make their entire world turn dark. Their lips trembled when they saw a photo of you saved on their lock screen. They whispered something, just under their breath, too soft to be heard by anyone but the angels, "Please take care of them when I'm gone." That sentence broke them. It shattered them completely. They are planning their exit gently. Not to disappear, but to make sure you won't be left in chaos. They have arranged for certain passwords, accounts, and secrets to be unlocked only if the worst happens. Type Amen to get blessing 414. They are watching your every move with a deep sense of longing now. You might not notice, but they stare a little longer these days. They want to memorize your face in every expression so they can take it with them wherever they go. They have spoken to their soul in silence. They asked it to stay just a little longer for your sake. But their body is no longer following orders, it's beginning to fail piece by piece. They're scared of sleeping now, scared they won't wake up. So they've started staying up later just to buy more time in your presence. Time, that most take for granted, is now more valuable than diamonds to them. They don't want pity. They don't want you to panic. They want your strength. Your love. And above all, your forgiveness, for not telling you sooner. Type Amen to get blessing 636. They've made a recording for you. It's on their cloud storage, protected by a passcode you'll only receive if something happens to them. That recording contains their final voice, soft and loving, saying everything they didn't have the courage to say in person. There's a place they want you to go when it's all over. Somewhere peaceful. Somewhere with wind and water. Because they want you to feel free again, not chained by their absence. They want to be remembered not as someone who faded, but as someone who loved you with their last breath. They want you to know, you were their purpose. Their reason. Their heartbeat in human form. When they hugged you last, they held on tighter than usual. Because a part of them knew it might be the last time with full strength. But they didn't say anything. They just smiled and hid the pain. Type Amen to get blessing 282. They've started hearing voices, not from their mind, but from heaven. Angels are comforting them during the night, whispering that the journey is not the end, just a new path. But even then, their thoughts remain tied to you. They hope you don't cry when the moment comes. They hope instead that you smile at the memories, laugh at the moments, and carry forward what they stood for. Because they believe you will become even greater after this pain. They've left something with a trusted friend. A message for you to be delivered on a special date, an anniversary that only the two of you shared. Inside that message are instructions, love notes, and details you never imagined they'd remember. They are brave, even now. Braver than most. But their strength is borrowed from their love for you. Type Amen to get blessing 505. Every heartbeat they feel now is a prayer. A rhythm that says, please. Not yet. I still have something to do. And that something is making sure you are safe and strong. They've made peace with some people they once fought with. Because they don't want to leave the world with heavy energy. But their heart still breaks every time they look at you without knowing what tomorrow holds. They went through their belongings last night. Tearing up at the thought of leaving certain things behind. But they've set aside one special item, something they want you to keep forever. They believe you'll feel their presence even when they're gone. They're asking heaven to allow it, to visit you in dreams, in winds, in soft touches on your skin. They won't let go of you, even when the physical body does. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Archangel Michael says, even when the body is fragile, love never weakens. This person's love for you is eternal, sacred, and divine. You are the reason they're still fighting every second. They've begun writing their thoughts in short sentences. Sometimes poetic. Sometimes raw. Always filled with devotion to you. Their hands tremble when they write now. But they keep going, because they want to leave a legacy in your hands. Something that speaks for them when their voice can no longer rise. They're not afraid of death, they're afraid of you feeling lost. That's why they've been preparing everything in secret. So that if they leave you with light, not darkness. Type Amen to get blessing 313. They still remember the first time you said, "I love you." That memory gives them strength even now. It replays in their mind every time the pain becomes too much to bear. They want to go on one last drive with you. No words. Just music. So they can watch the sunset knowing you're beside them. They've thought about writing you a song. One where each line holds a secret message. One where every verse is stitched with your laughter and their heartbeat. They haven't cried this much in years. But tonight, the tears won't stop. Not because they're weak, but because their heart is overflowing with unsaid emotions. Type Amen to get blessing 224. Their voice may soon fade. But the impact they left on your soul will last forever. They know this because love never ends, it only transforms. They are preparing something. A goodbye that isn't final. A departure that leads to reunion. They believe you will meet again. Maybe not soon. Maybe not in this world. But in a place where love is the only language and time does not exist. They hope you remember them during celebrations, not just sorrows. They want you to feel proud that you were loved by someone so pure. Because no illness can erase the kind of love they gave you. Type Amen to get blessing 303. The next few days may bring challenges. There may be moments when they don't have the strength to speak. But hold their hand, it still says everything their mouth cannot. When they fall asleep tonight, they'll dream of a better ending. One where the report was wrong. One where they got more time. And maybe, just maybe, that miracle is still coming. Archangel Michael says, nothing is final until heaven says so. There is still time. Still breath. Still hope. And above all, still love. If you are reading this, know that your person chose you to be the one they trusted most. The one they cried for. The one they stayed alive for this long. Honor that love by holding on to every second you still have with them. Type Amen to get blessing 777. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. They heard your voice earlier today, and it gave them a second wind, like a soft breath of air rushing into fading lungs. Even though they are tired, they smiled. Because that sound, the sound of you, still gives their spirit reason to stay. Their doctor came in again this afternoon, gently asking if they had any questions. They shook their head, not because they understood everything, but because the only question that matters is, will I get to see them one more time? But they didn't ask that aloud. They just nodded and stared at the ticking clock on the wall. Your person is trying to act normal. They're talking about casual things, weather, TV shows, little memories. But in between the words, their soul is screaming, please notice I'm not okay. They're growing weaker by the hour, and they can feel it. Their steps are slower. Their speech more breathless. But the strength of their heart is still beating only for you. Type Amen to get blessing 844. They looked at their hands today, hands that once held you so tight. Now trembling, now cold, they are still full of love for you. They placed those hands over their chest and whispered your name like a sacred chant. They had a vision last night, of light, peace, and angels surrounding their bed. In the vision, they saw you too, holding something glowing in your hands. It was their love, transformed into eternal energy. They've prepared a message for you, not for today, but for the moment when they're no longer beside you. It's time to be delivered by a close confidant, someone they trust with your heart. Inside that message is not sorrow, it's a roadmap for your strength, a guide from them to you. They don't want to be remembered for the illness. They want to be remembered for the love, the laughter, the selfless way they put your needs above their pain. And you will remember them, because this kind of love doesn't fade. Type Amen to get blessing 626. They're scared the night will take them, but they're more afraid that you'll wake up not knowing. Not knowing how much you meant. Not knowing how much they cherished every glance, every laugh, every word. So today, they scribbled a quick note. It was messy, rushed, but from the heart. It simply said, if I don't wake up tomorrow, know I left smiling because I loved you. They're still trying to hold conversations with you like nothing's wrong. But behind every smile, there's a countdown playing in their mind. Still, they pretend, for your sake, not theirs. Your love has been their medicine. More powerful than any treatment. And though their body may be breaking, their heart has never felt more full. Type Amen to get blessing 919. Archangel Michael says, your name is written in their soul. It echoes in every heartbeat, every breath they still fight to take. This connection cannot be broken, not even by death. They had a dream where you were walking into a room filled with light, holding a flower they once gave you. They believe that's a sign, you'll carry their memory like a torch. And through you, their story will never die. They've asked someone to take care of you. Someone who will reach out at the right time with something sacred in their hands. It's not a gift, it's a piece of their soul, handed to you with love. They cried today. Not just from pain, but from gratitude. Grateful that they got to love someone as beautiful as you. Grateful that you chose them. Type Amen to get blessing 404. They are not alone tonight. Their angels are near. But so is their fear, because even heaven feels too far when they want to be in your arms. They placed a photo of you beside their bed. It's worn out now, touched too many times, kissed in secret moments of despair. That photo has become their final treasure. They want to be remembered during sunsets. Because sunsets are beautiful even when they fade. And they hope that every golden sky will remind you that love never ends. If they don't get to say goodbye, let this be it. Let this message carry every unspoken word, every silent prayer. Let this message wrap around your heart like the last hug they wanted to give you. Type Amen to get blessing 383. Even now, they still believe in miracles. Not because they fear death, but because they want one more moment with you. Just one more second to say, "You were my everything." They've asked heaven not for more time, but for peace. And if peace means letting go, they've asked for strength for you to endure it. Because you were the light in their darkest days. They've whispered your name more than their own lately. Because to them, you are life. You are home. You may never truly know how much you mean to them. Because the depth of that love goes beyond words. But one day, when you're quiet, you'll feel it in the wind. Type Amen to get blessing 212. They left something hidden in a drawer you rarely open. You'll find it at the right time. And when you do, it will feel like they're speaking to you from beyond. They never wanted this ending. They wanted forever with you. But even in this short time, they believe your love gave them a lifetime. Archangel Michael says, your connection is eternal. Even if their body leaves this world, their energy will never leave you. That kind of love becomes part of your soul forever. They are closing their eyes now, not because they've given up, but because they trust you'll carry their heart forward. In your decisions. In your growth. In the way you choose love over fear. Type Amen to get blessing 202. This is not the end. It's a beginning of a new bond, unseen but unbreakable. They are becoming your guardian now. One day, when you feel alone, you'll hear a song they loved. Or smell something that reminds you of them. That won't be a coincidence, that will be them saying, "I'm here." If you feel them around you, it's because they never left. They just changed form. From flesh to spirit. From breath to wind. From presence to eternal love. Their story doesn't end in a hospital. It continues in your memories, in your strength, and in the quiet moments where love is louder than grief. Type Amen to get blessing 101. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20.